Welcome to Senior Care Insights. This is episode 10, and we have some excellent guests for you today. We have Cherie Wisdom, who is with the Meridian Senior Center. We also have Michelle Rincon from PACE, and we have Jack Weyers, an attorney from Family and Elder Law of Mid-Michigan. Welcome. Welcome, Cherie. Cherie is our first guest for today. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Deb. It's good to see you.
Yeah, nice seeing you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became the coordinator at the Meridian Senior Center.
Okay, well, I've been the coordinator for 15 years, and I started out as the assistant here at the Senior Center. And then when the then coordinator retired, I moved up into this position and have been in it for now 15 years. I'm a school employee, so part of that time I also was used throughout the school district, but as time has gone on, my sole role has been with the Senior Center.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah. All right. So tell us a little bit about where the Senior Center is located.
Okay. Well, the Senior Center can sometimes be hard to find for people for their first time. So we are located in the east wing of Chippewa Middle School. Chippewa Middle School is located on the corner of Okemos Road and Kinawa Drive. There's two middle schools on that road, Chippewa Middle School and Kinawa Middle School. So that makes it even more confusing. But we are in Chippewa Middle School. We're in the east wing, so we're closest to the auditorium. And there is a large sign over our door that says Meridian Senior Center, so you won't miss it once you get to the correct parking lot.
Okay, so if they're in the parking lot and they don't see the sign, they're in the wrong place.
Right.
Okay. So tell me about some of the programs that are offered at the Senior Center and what happens each day there.
Well, we offer a plethora of programming. We try to offer a little bit something for everybody, but we're always open to new suggestions as well. So we offer lifelong learning opportunities, health and wellness opportunities, integrative health opportunities, nutrition. So we try to cover the whole gamut of the pillars of aging that would need to be covered. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4:30. So we have a lot of daytime programs, and then we do open up some of our more fun socializing type events and activities in the evenings, usually once a month.
Okay. So you want to go into more detail about these programs?
Sure.
And give us some of the names of them and what happens for each of those. That would be interesting.
Sure. So I can tell you what's happening tonight. Tonight is one of our big community-wide social events. It's taco and trivia night. So for just $5, you can get a ticket and you can come have a taco dinner that's being catered by El Oasis. And then we have Tunes DJ coming in, and they are providing the trivia for the night. So we'll have teams of 6. They'll sit down at a table and do trivia together. There'll be dinner and prizes. That's an idea or a sample of what we do when we have our evening programs. Our daytime programs, some of them are continuous and they happen every month after month. And then we also have new ones that are shaken up in there as well. So we have Jazzercise Low for our fitness and exercise classes. We have Jazzercise Low. We have yoga. We have Tai Chi. We've also offered line dancing in the past, balance and core classes, rebounding classes. We have a fitness room, a small fitness room that's open to our members that has an elliptical, treadmill, and a recumbent bike, as well as some bands for strength training. We offer integrative health opportunities. In our integrative health room, we offer mindfulness and meditation. We offer massages. We offer reflexology, and we offer Reiki. We do birthday celebrations, and we'll have lunch and learns periodically throughout the month. Those change up based on the topic and the person or people coming in to talk. We have holiday celebrations. We partner with the school district to offer tech help classes, craft classes. Fiber Circle. I know I'm missing something. I think that covers a lot of it. We offer a lot of programs, and they're ever changing. And so, like I said, some of them are stay the same. We offer them every month, but a lot of them change every month as well.
Okay. So what is the cost to attend any of these programs?
So some of the classes have fees. We try to keep, I forgot to mention, we offer cards and games on a regular basis. Those are some of our most popular things. I probably should throw that out there.
Okay.
We offer euchre. We have mahjong. We have people that come in and play bridge. So we have games, table tennis, and pool. We have a billiards table. So we have a large group of people that come in and play both those things as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So to join, you don't have to be a Meridian Township resident to join. Anybody can come. There's a lower fee for residents than there is for non-residents. And then most of our programming is covered at no charge with your membership, but there are some things that have additional fees. So if we have a contracted employee that needs to be paid, there usually is a small fee. So for example, if you're coming in to get a massage, you would pay $15 for your 15-minute massage. If you're coming in for jazzercise, I think it's like $3 or $4 a class. If you're coming in for yoga, it's about $10 a class. Right now, we're able to offer Tai Chi for free because we got that class under a grant. So it all kind of varies. But anything that we can offer at no charge, we do. And we certainly try to keep the prices down as much as we can.
Yeah, those sound very, very reasonable.
Yes.
So for the massages, do they need appointments or do they just walk in, or how does that work?
Definitely appointments. He's usually booked. So, yeah, definitely appointments. And you can do up to 30 minutes. So you can take 2 15-minute slots. And he's here once a week. We will be bringing in a second massage therapist probably in the spring. And then we also have a reflexologist, and she's new. Her schedule has not filled up yet, but still we do require appointments for both of those.
Okay. And how much is her fees for?
$15 for reflexology. Yep.
Okay. That's actually very inexpensive compared to what they would pay going to an actual person in a business. So
that's correct.
That's a really good deal for them. Okay. And how do they go about making an appointment? Do they just get on your website? Do they have to make a call?
Yeah, they give us a call, and they can reach us at 517-706-5045. And just give us a call. We can tell them what appointment slots are open and what day, and then we also give reminder calls. So.
Oh, that's nice. So do these people who do the massages, are they there every day?
No. So he actually owns his own massage business. So He comes in once a week and does massages for us once a week. Like I said, we are looking to bring in a second massage therapist in the spring, but we haven't done so yet. Okay. But it's something we're going to be doing.
So what makes your senior center a valued part of someone's retirement years?
Well, once you retire, I think what happens at our senior center is we get like-minded people in the same environment. So when people are retiring or they become newly single and they don't want to be isolated, they don't want to be lonely, and they want to get out and meet new people, find fun things to do, we're the place to go. So, if you go to a 55 and older community down in Florida, there's like-minded people living in the same community, enjoying the same things. Well, why can't like-minded people do the same thing in Michigan? And that's why we're here.
Okay. And about how many people are members of your senior center?
Well, since COVID, unfortunately, our membership has dropped about half, but we are at about 300 members, and actually higher than that, but somewhere in between 300 and 400 members is what we currently have. And like I said, it is down about half from what it was prior to COVID. People's confidence in getting out is building up. We haven't had an outbreak here or anything, so it's a safe place to come.
Mm-hmm.
It's clean.
And what age does somebody have to be considered a senior?
Here, 55.
55. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what things do you have in store for the future in this for your senior center? What's coming up?
Oh, well, the school, because we're in a school and we are part of the school district is doing some reorganizations of buildings, and they're going to be rebuilding a new middle school here on the property. So there are some changes coming as far where our location is going to be. We don't really know anything exact yet. There's talks with the township with possibly providing a new community/senior center. And if that doesn't work out, then I know the school will find a new location for us. So that's probably the biggest news of what's happening in the future. But other than that, just that, we're open. We're always looking for new members to come in and, start a new fun chapter of your life here with us with great things to do. Okay.
What about pickleball? Do you guys have pickleball?
So the township offers pickleball, so we do not.
Okay. But I know a lot of seniors play pickleball, and I actually just learned.
Yes, a lot of seniors do play pickleball. Every summer for the last few years, we have gotten with one of the women that's like kind of a coordinator for the pickleball with the township, and we offer lessons to our members if they want to take it for a beginner. So you will see that coming up in the summer where you can get, I think it's like 3 or 4 week lesson at the park with the pickleball courts.
Okay. Anything else exciting happening in the near future? Any activities or events that you want to share that are happening maybe in February or March?
Yeah. So if you're specifically looking for our fun social events, some of our fun social events, which would be a great time for somebody new who's never been here to come, would be we're having a senior social at Spags Bar and Grill in February. We're going to be that's at that location. And there's tickets are on sale for $5 per person for that event. It's going to include dinner, obviously, music, games. They have pool tables, darts, all that kind of stuff, jukebox, dancing. And then we're also going to be having a Hawaiian luau here at the end of February. And we're going to be having, we celebrate the Kentucky Derby here with our own version of a Kentucky Derby party. So that will be coming up in May. I'm trying to think. There's so many big events. We try to do one big event, something like that, fun every month. So you just have to keep an eye out on our newsletter. You can also check out our website or our Facebook page if you just want to look to see what we're offering before you take the big step of joining.
Okay. Now, to attend these special events, does someone have to be a member, or can they just check it out and pay the $5 to go?
A lot of them, they can just check it out and pay the $5 to come. They do not have to join.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah. Just in case I know somebody that might want to go out and do something, I could share that with them.
Please do.
Yeah, and then they might eventually join. You never know.
Exactly. That's how sometimes it works.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Senior Care Insights. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Deb. You have a great day.
The friendship, the closeness that two people can have.
My caretaker just does everything I ask her to do.
Motivates me to the extent that I know that I can live another day.
She's my transportation. When we shop, groceries, she fixes my hair for me. And she makes her lunch, she makes supper, she just ordinarily is a companion. And she walks the dog, which is wonderful. And so she's a lovely companion.
I love her. She's fantastic, and she's doing a good job.
Time is valuable, especially when it comes to caring for a loved one. Instead of spending your day juggling caregiving tasks, You could actually spend quality time with your family, enjoying the memories, playing games, catching up on work, or simply relaxing and getting recharged. A client review stated, "We used First Light Services to care for my mom for almost 3 years in her home. We were very lucky to find such loving and compassionate caregivers. They were knowledgeable about mom's issues and truly cared about her well-being, as well as helping the family learn how to adapt to her changes. Our caregivers are professionally trained, background checked, must pass a drug test, and are compassionate. We offer flexible plans tailored to meet your family's needs, ensuring that you get time back in your day without compromising the quality of care. Don't let another day slip away being a caregiver. Make the call today and let First Light Home Care of Greater Lansing illuminate the pathway to exceptional home care and give you back the gift of time." Good afternoon. Welcome, Jack.
How you doing, Deb?
Doing great.
Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you again. All right. We have Howard J. Weyers, a.k.a. Jack, from the Family and Elder Law of Mid-Michigan, and he's going to be speaking to us today about powers of attorney. So after nearly 25 years of it being in the employee benefit industry, Jack decided to go back to school to pursue his dream of becoming an attorney. Coincidentally, he had the privilege of being a primary caregiver for his mother as well, who struggled with Alzheimer's disease. All of these experiences occurred at or around the same time to inspire him to pursue a career in the area of estate planning and elder law to help families plan for and endure in times of need. So, could you tell us about a significant moment and or experience that inspired your strong commitment to helping families dealing with various illnesses?
Yeah, I sure can, Deb. It's kind of a real kind of confluence of things that happened all at once, but I decided to go back to law school at a very old age. And when I did that, you have to take a law school entrance exam. So I had talked to some people that I knew were practicing law, and they had visions of me entering practice with them in the gaming law area. So it's very different than what I'm doing today. So you take a test called the LSAT, which is the law school entrance exam. The day after I took that exam, my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. So I was still going to go down the original path, but as you mentioned before, Deb, I was one of her primary caregivers. And as we went through that process, I would take mom out, try to keep her engaged as much as I could. And one of the things I did was take her to a local memory care facility because they did gardening there, and it was somewhere I could take her where she could garden and be safe, that we didn't have to worry about her wandering off. And while I was there, I just watched, just kind of observed the other folks that were at the nursing home. And there were folks that were there all alone and their family never visited them. Mm-hmm. There were folks where you heard the families, just fretting about how they were going to pay for care and continue to pay for care. And then the worst ones where you'd hear the people sitting around wondering if grandma was going to die in time, that they'd still get some money. So, you saw the really good and the really bad there. And that experience really inspired me to give up the gaming law piece and become an elder law attorney. So that's really what got me here. And that's what kind of fuels my passion on a daily basis.
Okay. Well, today we're going to talk about the importance of powers of attorney.
Yeah.
And so can you explain what are powers of attorney?
So powers of attorney can cover a pretty broad area, but we always kind of refer to it as above ground planning. So it's the planning that you do if you're above ground, so you're still alive, but you're not well. So what would happen if you became incapacitated? Who could make various decisions for you and act on your behalf? So there are really a couple areas of concern that we really want to address. And if you don't address it yourself, the court system in our state, in Michigan and most states, has a resolution too. But most people don't want the state making decisions for them and creating the rules for which their care would be provided and how their money might be spent to provide that care. So there are really two primary documents that we use. One's called a patient advocate designation. Some people call it a healthcare power of attorney or a medical power of attorney or a healthcare proxy. And it's a document where you name the person who can make your healthcare decisions for you if you can't. The other document we use, we refer to it as a durable power of attorney, and that is the document that allows people to make financial and legal decisions for you when you can't make them for yourself.
Okay. So what powers of attorney are needed? Are both of these needed, and why are they needed? Well,
so again, as I said, the reason that they're different is because they're different in the law. So in Michigan, you may have heard of legal proceedings called guardianship and conservatorship. A guardianship is if somebody hasn't executed powers of attorney, and they can no longer make decisions regarding their care, custody, medical, and mental health treatment, someone has to go to the court and petition to become their guardian. Oftentimes the state does this, sometimes family members. A patient advocate designation in Michigan, that's how it's encoded in the law, is a document that allows you to appoint a patient advocate and their successors if they can't act, because sometimes your agent may not be able to act. So we try to build some depth into that document and to create rules as it relates to your care, custody, medical, and mental health treatment, to give them direction. Some people have heard the term advanced directives or medical directives. So there's a grant of legal authority that gives someone the authority to make those decisions for you. And then you can provide direction or instructions in that document so they know how you want to be cared for. So in short, as it relates to your health care, you get to choose the people who will act for you rather than the court making that decision. And you get to decide the rules they play by rather than a judge making those decisions for you. So that relates to the healthcare piece, and it's a separate document. And the other document, as I said before, is a durable power of attorney. And that's, would you name someone to act to make legal and financial decisions for you if you're incapacitated? So who pays the bills? These can be two different people. You can have a patient advocate that's different from your power of attorney. And oftentimes people like those kind of checks and balances, or they want to, split up the duties, because sometimes these aren't the most fun jobs, and you have other people questioning the decisions you're making and things like that. But we try to do the same thing in that document as we provide direction as to how we want our money spent. Together, those things are, you have the person who can arrange for your care, and then the other person who arranges for payment of your care and make sure all your other bills get paid.
Okay. So who basically needs a power of attorney?
Well, interestingly, and this is one that people forget, and it doesn't necessarily relate to seniors, is really everyone over the age of 18 should have powers of attorney. And there's a couple different scenarios that you might think of, but if you send a child off to college, they get in a car wreck and they're injured, you as your parent, once they're 18, they're an adult, you as their parent no longer have legal authority to make decisions for them as it relates to their health care. So we always say everybody who's reached the age of 18 should have at least a patient advocate designation, if not a financial power of attorney. So really everybody needs them. So there's kind of that piece, is every adult, if they want to make the decision as to who's going to make those decisions for them, should have powers of attorney. And the other thing is kind of a public duty to do these things, because if you don't do it, you're going to tie up the court system. A judge and the court's resources, when you could have taken action yourself to make these decisions and not put the burden on the court system to do so.
Right. And the court isn't necessarily going to make the decisions that you want.
That's very true. So one of the things that we've seen recently, and it is a little bit troubling, but I was just actually sending out an email here earlier to a gentleman who he's concerned that his stepmother isn't caring for his dad the way that he would like to see his dad be treated. So, and we don't know if she has power of attorney, but he asked if he should go to court and apply for guardianship or conservatorship. And I said, the risk that you run there is stepmom as wife will have statutory priority to act as dad's guardian and conservator. But son, if son can show that she's maybe not acting in his best interest, the judge may not pick the son automatically to be guardian and conservator, because oftentimes judges who get elected don't want to make that call. And the easy call for them to make is to appoint a public administrator. And that's when you see, and I mean, some of you may seen the show I Really Care on Netflix, where you see public people, public administrators or private people acting as professional guardians and conservators, acting in those roles. So you've got somebody who's in charge of your healthcare and your money who you don't even know.
Okay.
So it's a bit risky, and most people don't want to.
Sounds like it. It sounds very risky.
Yeah. So in fact, recently there was a Court of Appeals case here in Michigan where the Court of Appeals admonished a probate judge because he was doing this kind of, it became his standard of practice is when people came in, he would just appoint public guardians rather than appoint family members, even when the family members wanted to be the guardian. So it's just doing the powers of attorney is just a way for you to take control and for you to make the decisions rather than leaving that up to the state or the court.
What specific decisions can all be made in a power of attorney in terms of healthcare? So
we have what we call basic documents. And so for example, a basic patient advocate designation. In my case, I, Jack Weyers, appoint my wife, Becky Weyers, to make healthcare decisions when 2 doctors have certified that I'm no longer able to participate in my own healthcare decisions. If Becky can't do it, my buddy Mike is next. If Mike can't do it, my sister's next. So we build that kind of flexibility into the document. So that's the first decision you make. And we think you ought to make that, with some forethought. You want people to be able to carry out your wishes. In that basic document, there's generally a section that gives you one of 3 choices as it relates to end of life. So the first choice would be, if I'm in a coma or irreversible vegetative state with no hope of recovery, if life-sustaining treatment would only artificially delay my death, or the burdens of treatment, in my patient advocate's opinion, outweigh the benefits of treatment, please cease all life-sustaining treatment and let me die naturally while relieving me of pain and keeping me comfortable. So that would be choice 1. There's a second choice that just says, if I'm in a coma or irreversible vegetative state, stop life-sustaining treatment. And then the third choice is keep me alive no matter what. So that would be in a basic document. In an enhanced document, we would put directions as to different things. You want family there to pray with you, what kind of music you want to have played while you're at the hospital. Do you want to be taken outside before you pass away? All those sorts of things. We can put direction as it relates to organ donation, donating your body to science, how you want to be remembered. If you're in a long-term care situation, we create another document called a personal care plan. And that's just how you want to be treated on a day-to-day basis. Mine says, give me two cups of black coffee before 10 a.m. This is the kind of music I like. This is the kind of music I really don't like. I'm spiritual, so, please expose me to spiritual situations when you can. I want to be taken outside a couple times a day, unless it's a blizzard or rains all day like it did here today. Don't feed me liver, because my grandpa used to make me eat it all day, and don't feed me shrimp because it'll kill me. So we can be that detailed. And, in your job, so oftentimes you've got people you're caring for that can't really express how they want to be cared for. And if we can provide an instruction manual, it makes everybody's job easier, creates peace of mind, and hopefully prevents family fights when people start questioning the patient advocate on why they're providing treatment the way they are.
Okay.
So that's something we do in the healthcare. The financial power is a little bit less, flexible. There's kind of more legalese in that document. But some of the things we do there is we integrate the financial power of attorney with the rest of an estate plan, so that we're coordinating the actions of the patient advocate with the financial power of attorney to make sure care is paid for appropriately. If you're a business owner, who can run your business, because that may not be the family member that you choose as your financial power of attorney. We put all the powers that would be needed in that document and direction as to how we might protect assets if we were in a very long-term situation that might bankrupt the family, where we could try to qualify them for Medicaid long-term care benefits if needed.
So how would someone go about getting powers of attorney completed?
Well, there's a lot of ways you can do it. You can go online and find them. I don't necessarily recommend that because maybe I'm being a little selfish in that regard, but I think there's some counseling that goes into the process. So in some thought, oftentimes we see people just name their kids the oldest to youngest, and then they end up with the wrong agent. They maybe haven't thought through the decision-making process. So, the easy answer there is come see a lawyer, come see an estate planning or elder law attorney, preferably somebody that does elder law, and have them, just have these discussions about what you want to have happen, what you don't want to have happen, and who the right people are to make those decisions for you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Senior Care Insights. Your information was very valuable. I'm sure a lot of people don't realize everything that can be done using a power of attorney. And hopefully it saves some people some peace of mind, and I'll get in touch with you if they have any questions at all.
All right. Thanks, Deborah. Appreciate you having me here.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
The friendship, the closeness that two people can have.
My caretaker just does everything I ask her to do.
Motivates me to the extent that I know that I can live another day.
She's my transportation. When we shop, groceries, she fixes my hair for me. And she makes her lunch, she makes supper, she just ordinarily is a companion. And she walks the dog, which is wonderful. And so she's a lovely companion.
I love her. She's fantastic, and she's doing a good job.
Welcome back to Senior Care Insights. We now have Michelle Rincon with us. She is the Marketing and Research Director at PACE. Welcome, Michelle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, many people probably do not know what PACE is and what PACE stands for.
So PACE is honestly probably healthcare's best kept secret, especially for aging adults 55 and over who want to remain in their home, but are starting to struggle a little bit. So first things first, let's say PACE stands for program, or how we do things at PACE. And then A stands for all the care that you need, or all inclusive. And C is pretty much self-explanatory. It stands for care. And that's everything from home health to your specialty appointments, your prescriptions, and transportation. And then E stands for elderly. In this case, 55 or over. Some of us might not consider ourselves elderly, but I'd like to say aging adults or aging gracefully. So people 55 and older that are struggling a little bit and need some extra help are the people that we're reaching out to.
Okay. So how long have you been working at PACE now?
So I've been with PACE 7 years, and we've been in the Lansing area 8 years. But PACE is not new. This model of care has been around since the 1970s, believe it or not. It migrated from California and made its way to Michigan. Proud to say that in Michigan, we're number 3 in the nation for the amount of PACE programs that we have. So we're really taking care of our aging adults here in Michigan.
Okay. So the PACE program that you work with is the Tri-County PACE, is that correct?
So we cover Ingham, Eaton, Clinton, parts of Shiawassee, parts of Jackson County. And then we had a service area expansion recently, and we now are in Lyon, Muir, and Portland, which is part of Ionia County. All of the PACE programs, there's 14, soon to be 15, are independently owned and operated. We're a no-compete organization, and we all work very nice with one another. If somebody is out of our zip code and we know that they can be taken care of in another zip code, we refer back and forth to one another.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So how does somebody qualify for PACE? What are the specific requirements so that people know whether or not they should even contact you.
Right. I feel like people get hung up on the word qualify a lot. There is obviously qualifications for people to enroll in the program. We are predominantly funded by Medicare and Medicaid. So if you are familiar with the long-term care requirements for an aging adult, someone would otherwise be qualified for long-term care placement, meaning that that person is struggling with their activities of daily living. Maybe they need reminders for their medication. Maybe it's taking them an extremely long time to get ready and to do the things that they need to do to be able to function properly. A lot of times we will get referrals for people who have recently been in the hospital and they weren't safe at home before they had their injury or their accident, but they reach out to us and we can screen to see if someone can be safe at home with our services in place. So I would much rather people, if they think that they're struggling and that they might qualify, I would rather have someone call so we can screen them and talk to them about what's going on. You know, we all like to put our best foot forward. So people aren't always willing to tell what the struggles are. So we like to dig a little bit deeper to make sure that we're going to be able to address your needs.
Okay. Are there any income requirements or anything like that?
There are. There's no income requirements per se. So anyone that is interested in the program and meets the criteria could come in the program and do a private pay option. If somebody was in a situation where they don't have the funds to do private pay, if they qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, there's no copays and no deductibles. So no out-of-pocket costs. And the beautiful thing of the program is that all-inclusive piece, it covers the transportation and all of the coordination to those specialty appointments that sometimes you have a hassle making those referral appointments to a specialist. Once someone comes into the program, we become their primary care and their insurance. So we're very creative with care. We make sure that we're addressing the needs, but we're also making sure that that the care plan is customized to each person. And we're really focusing on that individual's well-being as well as their medical concerns. Another beautiful point I'd like to make about the program is that we also help the people who are caring for that individual. We don't want anyone to get caregiver burnout. We don't want someone to feel like they can't care for their loved ones at home. So we're going to help those family members address any deficits that they're having. Maybe they don't know how to transfer someone very well. Maybe they don't know how to de-escalate someone with Alzheimer's or dementia. So we also address the needs of the family and the caregivers that are caring for those individuals.
Yeah, that's really nice. I know there's a lot of caregiver burnout when just one person's in charge, so they can get respite care when they need it and help them keep their own sanity and keep themselves, healthy enough to stay home and help with the care.
We like to say that we kind of do things the old-fashioned way. We really listen to the participant or the patient, if you will, and the family. And then we really try to focus in on what you need and also listen to you about what you want and keeping your independence and giving you that dignity to be part of those decisions that we're making for each person when they come into the program.
Okay. So what are the benefits of PACE for participants, for tax dollars, for their families, all of that?
Absolutely. So, we really look at our program as preventative. So when somebody comes into the program, obviously something that's happened to have a decline or a hospitalization for them to be referred to us. And anyone can refer, they can self-refer. But those individuals then come into the program and they have a care team that cares for them. So we're helping that person remember their medications. We're taking those people to their appointments so they're not missing those specialty appointments. We're keeping really close eye on those individuals, either by them coming into the day center, their regular appointments with the providers, or even the information that we're receiving from the specialist. So really it's like taking a big, wrapping your arms around the individual and giving them a big hug with all of our services. So for the patient or the client, they really benefit because we're helping a lot of the hassle that comes along with trying to coordinate your appointments and remember everything when you're already struggling. It's a benefit for the family because, again, we give them some training tools and tips. We can provide respite if the family needs a break or needs time. And then for taxpayer dollars, some people want to know how is all of this possible if it's zero out-of-pocket costs. Each individual that comes in the program, we get a capitated rate, and we save taxpayer dollars by that preventative care that we're doing. We're taking care of the individual before they get sick, before it gets bad. So we're cutting down on hospitalizations. We're cutting down on rehospitalizations. We're cutting down on those rehabilitation stays. Family members aren't having to take the time off, because if they're not able to go with their loved one, we are able to take that person, or maybe send a caregiver if we need to the appointment.
Okay. Do you also provide rehab services?
We do. So a lot of times when somebody goes into the hospital, has an accident, they have to go to rehabilitation, sometimes inpatient, sometimes outpatient. The beautiful thing about our program is if somebody's already in the program, we can bring them home from the hospital sooner. We can start their rehab in the home. If it's better for us to bring them to the center, we'll bring them to our center, which is the hub of our program. And then if somebody isn't in the program, when they're leaving that rehabilitation, with traditional insurance, a lot of times there's a timeline. You have to progress this much, or you're going to discharge, or you go to long-term care. And sometimes it feels like you're not getting to make those decisions. With our program, we talk to the family, we talk to the patient, and we can bring them home, and we can start rehabilitation services immediately. And there are a lot of our clients, our participants, who have started rehab from day one, and they're still getting rehabilitation services today. Because if it's going to prevent that person from getting ill or going into the hospital, we're going to continue those services.
Okay, that's really good. That's incredible. So you mentioned before that anybody can refer to PACE. They can even refer themselves. Correct. So how do they do that? Do they get on your website? Do they give you a call, or is there a combination of ways?
Absolutely. So again, anybody can refer. If you're struggling, you're an aging adult and you're struggling and you need help, you can give us a call. Our phone number and our website has been scrolling at the bottom of this broadcast, but our phone number is 517-319-0681. That will get you to our enrollment specialist, and she will speak with you, do an assessment with you over the phone. We always say that no referral is a bad referral, so we would rather you call and ask questions. A provider can refer you, a rehabilitation center, a family member. The only thing that we ask, because of the guidelines that we follow with CMS, is that if you refer someone, you tell them that you're referring them, and they at least know that someone from PACE may be calling them. We don't ever want to make anyone feel harassed. There's a lot of long-term insurance and a lot of insurance calls that happen for people. And we want people to know that we're only calling them because they showed interest or a family member referred them. If they're not interested in the program, no problem, no pressure. We just want to make sure that we get the information out there. Okay. The website is very easy. You can get on the website. There's an enrollment section. You fill out the form. It goes directly to our email, and we try to reach back out to you within 24 hours or less.
Awesome. So my other question is, do you have volunteer opportunities for people who would like to help others in the community?
So we do have volunteer opportunities. The day center, again, is the hub. So a lot of the activities that happen with crafts and chair exercises and, anything that you can think of that you're going to do in a day center, socialization pieces. There's lots of opportunities for people to volunteer their talent. So if you sing or you do sign language, we're always looking for talent. If you want to donate your time, you would reach out to our main line, which is 517-319-0700, and you would ask to speak to our human resources. We do have to vet everyone as if they were being hired, if they're going to volunteer their services, not necessarily the talent individuals, but anyone that's going to be doing hands-on care. So they would have to fill out, a background check and things like that.
Okay. All right. So if somebody were using those services that you provide, would they be able to keep their primary care doctor, or is that switched? I mean, I've had that question before, and I didn't really know how to answer that one.
Right. And it's kind of difficult because that has been a huge barrier when people talk about PACE and PACE enrollment. The thick of it is on paper, we have to be the primary care. And we are going to be so involved in your care that all inclusive that we are the primary care, but people that have a primary care physician that they've been seeing for 20 or 30 years, we have and we are allowing our participants to see that individual throughout the year. That provider will be communicating with us, talking with us. There'll be no hassle getting your medical records and all of your information. And so it's a pretty easy, smooth transition. What we have found is that most people that come into the program and are very hesitant to change their primary care usually end up switching completely over, and they don't even need to see their primary care, or their primary care tells them, hey, you're getting great care. You've got great care with us, but everything that you're getting with PACE is more than what we can do. And it's easier for you to just have all of your appointments with PACE. So that the easy part of the answer is we are the primary care in the insurance, but we do allow people to see a primary care provider.
All right. Well, that's all very interesting, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who could use help. So I appreciate you joining us on the show today.
Well, I'm so happy that you gave me this opportunity, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
You do the same.
The friendship, the closeness that two people can have.
My caretaker just does everything I ask her to do.
Motivates me to the extent that I know that I can live another day.
She's my transportation. When we shop, groceries, she fixes my hair for me. And she makes her lunch, she makes supper, she just ordinarily is a companion. And she walks the dog, which is wonderful. And so she's a lovely companion.
I love her. She's fantastic, and she's doing a good job.
Time is valuable, especially when it comes to caring for a loved one. Instead of spending your day juggling caregiving tasks, you could actually spend quality time with your family, enjoying the memories, playing games, catching up on work, or simply relaxing and getting recharged. A client review stated, "We used First Light Services to care for my mom for almost 3 years in her home. We were very lucky to find such loving and compassionate caregivers. They were knowledgeable about mom's issues and truly cared about her well-being, as well as helping the family learn how to adapt to her changes. Our caregivers are professionally trained, background checked, must pass a drug test, and are compassionate. We offer flexible plans tailored to meet your family's needs, ensuring that you get time back in your day without compromising the quality of care. Don't let another day slip away being a caregiver. Make the call today and let First Light Home Care of Greater Lansing illuminate the pathway to exceptional home care and give you back the gift of time." Thank you again for joining us on Senior Care Insights. We had some great interviews today with Cherie Wisdom, Michelle Rincon, and Jack Weyers. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next time.